It's Friday, and you know what that means. Let's get our sewing chat on. I'm Maddie with Maddie Sews, and thanks for hanging with me, you all. So today, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the things that I've been working on all week, as well as some of the stuff that's been on my mind. Let's just get to it. First off, let me just say that this plant wall behind me has been acting really funny. I'm trying to figure it out, you all. Okay, so for those who've been following me, you know that I've been making a bunch of different tank tops. And while that still holds true, except I did divert a little bit to make my mother a tunic. And it's actually from one of the Simplicity patterns that I was going to make myself a tank top from. And she really liked the view, and it was honestly her style, so I thought, yeah, my mama needs something new. So I made her this tunic, and actually it has slits that go all the way down to the floor, and she looks really good in it. And so I'm actually hoping that I can get my top done today, so that way this Sunday I can share with you all of the pictures of us in our matching tops, and it's going to be so much fun. I've also been looking at additional tank top patterns, so I picked up the cashmere at Saybrook, and actually I have some really high hopes for that one, considering that I consider her t-shirt pattern, the Concord, to be my TNT, and I'm sure she won't disappoint. And then I also picked up another indie pattern as well. So I am hoping to have all of that stuff done off my machines this weekend, so that way I can just move on to making some really fun stuff, because honestly, we all need basics, right? And I get that, but it's really not the most exciting thing to sew. So I am looking forward to making more dresses, more skirts, more frilly stuff that I'm gonna wear around the house. So let's chat a bit. So I've been hearing a lot of people asking lately, like, what do you do to get over your loss of sewjo? Sewjo being, you know, that I've got to sew, I'm so excited, you know, like you are in your groove. What do you do when you actually lose your sewjo? In the past, what I did was I picked up my TNT and I would sew it up, and it kind of got like, you know, the whole want to sew thing moving in the right direction. But I realized that lately I've been doing something a little differently, and I've been sewing with friends via Zoom. And I think that that has helped me significantly, just kind of keep things going, keep it exciting. You can bounce ideas off of people. All of that to say, if you're losing your sewjo, I highly recommend that you do a Zoom sewing session with your friends. Now, you all know that I've really been trying to get my sewing studio together, and one of the things that I'm missing is a cutting table. And I think I'm almost there. So I already had my casters, but I went to my hardware store and actually picked up some additional materials, including like some screws that I needed and some wood. Let me show you what I'm planning on using for my tabletop. So over here, you see that I have a bunch of wood. Well, this was actually at one point one big old piece of wood, and they did two cuts, one down the side and then one across the top. So that way I could get this little piece, which is 36 by 60. And I'm actually planning on using that as a tabletop. This side feels like it's already sanded down, although I'm going to sand it a little bit more so that way my fabric doesn't snag. And then I'm going to finish off these edges with some like veneer paper, which I think will be fine. Staining all of it. I'm not sure how I'm going to use this piece of wood or the other smaller one that's snuggled behind here. There it is. I might be able to find another use for that one. And hello, Swedish tracing paper. So yeah, I've got to, you know, sand and stain that tabletop, and I've picked up my stain here. I figured I'd go with a grayish color that actually matches my, well, everything in this room. But then I also picked up this melamine veneer edging. So Jen had previously recommended that I use bookcases and like put a piece of wood over the top and then trim that out. So I decided to go ahead and pick this stuff up, which you could basically just put around the edge. Oh man, I can't open it for you. You basically just put it around the edge, the rough edges, and it finishes it off nicely. And I think it's gonna be really nice to help prevent my fabric from snagging on the edges of that wood. To give you an idea, I know this is just white, so it's kind of like hard to tell, but you know that fake wood finish? It's like that paper, that plasticky paper that covers a lot of furniture, bookcases and things like that. It's this same material, and it comes in wood grain designs too, which is really cool. So that's another one of my weekend projects, just kind of getting this table together. Now, did I mention that I am queen of overcommit? I think I'm quickly going down that rabbit hole of projects aplenty. If it takes me an additional week, it's not the end of the world though. It's a long weekend here, so I'm actually hoping that I won't have an issue getting it all done. Okay, so now let's totally change the subject here. You all, have you seen that new Halston show? You know, the one on Netflix? I really loved it. I feel like that entire series kind of left me on a low note, which is a little sad, but it was really cool watching him go from being a hat maker to a designer to developing new amazing fabrics on the way to runway shows and, well, eventually losing the Halston brand name. So if you're someone who actually likes to watch TV while you sew, I would highly recommend that you check that one out. I mean, it kind of gives you a different idea about how people were living life and not back in the day. So really interesting show. So you all, there's two things that I actually am really curious about from you all. What do you do when you've lost your sewjo to get back into the groove of things? And then also, have you watched the Halston show? And let me know what you think about it. Well, if you had fun hanging today on this Friday Sews, you might want to check out this one over here. And until next time, I sincerely hope that you find joy and have a wonderful day.